Hi, welcome to my LifePage. My name is Neha Nakra and I'm a company secretary. Today I'll be talking about the profession company secretary, but before that let me just brief you about myself. I did my schooling from Summerfield School, New Delhi till class 12, and then I did my graduation from Kamla Nehru College. I did my graduation in commerce, so I did my BCom from GU. And then after my graduation, I was slightly confused about which profession to choose. At that age, it was very difficult to decide which career you want to choose. So my father is a chartered accountant. He wanted me to do CA, but I was slightly hesitant about the accounts piece. So I decided I'll not do CA, but something else. But what else was that? I was not clear. So then I tried my hands on a couple of things. So I did 1 year course of media communication. I thought maybe I'll become a journalist one day, but that didn't turn out well. Then I thought maybe something in computers. At that point in time, it was like initial stages of computers which were in. So I did 3 months course, but then I said, no, this is also not my cup of tea. And then I did 1 year of course in French also. So I thought maybe, I'll go abroad and do something in French, but there also I find that no, this is not what I want to do in life. I also, by the way, tried my hands on IAS exams and IFT exams. I thought maybe fashion designing will be what I want to do, but I didn't get through also in those, tests. As most of you would be knowing, there's an institute by the name Institute of Company Secretaries of India. From there, you can get a degree of CS. You can join after either your graduation or after your 12th standard as well. But obviously the structure is different for completing of CS when you join after graduation or you join after 12. So I'll just tell you about this profession CS. So what a company secretary in an organization does is that it is a link between the board of directors who are actually running this organization and the management who are deciding the day-to-day affairs of the company. So board of directors are the set of people who are really responsible for running this organization. Mainly, I would say it is the corporate laws. So how does a corporate or a company function? So it's not just compliance of one law. There are various laws which are applicable to a particular organization. So for example, in a telecom industry, mainly obviously it is the Companies Act which is applicable. So company secretary is solely responsible for compliance of the Companies Act. Now there's a new Companies Act which has come in place, which is Companies Act 2013, which is very different from the past Companies Act, which was in 1956. Firstly, I would say the communication skills, which I think is required in every profession, but more so for a company secretary. The reason being, obviously, you are dealing with the board of directors, which are very senior people sitting on the board. They are dealing at a different aspect. They take decisions at a different level, and they want their decisions to be communicated to the management. So how do you do that? If your communication skills are good, you can communicate rightly to the board as well as to the management. That is one aspect which really you should be good at. Next, I would say, so the CS profession is very challenging in the sense that company secretary, as you would know, is one of the key officers which have been defined in the Companies Act 2013. So along with the board of directors, the CFO and the company secretary who are the key officers of an organization. So they will be held responsible. So it becomes a very challenging task to ensure that all the laws which are applicable to an organization are being complied with. If you are going for it and if you really like the compliance of laws, then you would really like to ensure that things are in order, and though it's challenging, but it's very satisfying as well. Firstly, I would say updation of laws. That is applicable for other profession as well, but more so for CS, because if you're not updated on a particular law or its applicability on your organization and the compliance piece as to how to comply with those laws, it might have huge repercussions in the terms of penalty, fines, or at times, in larger non-compliances, it might be imprisonment of directors and company secretary as well. So updation of laws, I would say, is very critical. A person should be really updated about what are the changes which are happening in the laws and how are they applicable or not applicable to an industry as well as the organization. a few of my peers, people sitting in the industry. I talk to them as to if they are also facing the same challenges, how do they resolve them, And then we decide and come to a consensus that, okay, this issue can be sorted in this way. And then obviously the follow-up actions as well, whether the issues, those were discussed, are they being done or no? Nowadays, I think following up is a very important issue. So just ensuring that things are done, completed. Documentation again is very critical. So on daily basis, I have to ensure that my documents are in place. Whatever the requirement was to come, has it come or no? Have we replied to notices or no? So any kind of inputs which have to come from various departments, various functions internally, have they come or no? In critical months, obviously the financial piece, when the financials are being finalized, then there's a lot of documentation requirement. Audit is going on. How do you ensure that the secretarial audit has been done? How do you plan that? So those are the various things which really come into picture into day-to-day life of a CS. And then the day ends maybe around 6:30, 7 o'clock, unless there are certain issues which really need more time. So I hope I've been able to give you a balanced view on the profession of company secretary, and I was able to answer a few of your queries. Thank you so much.